Hot. Boris and Charles welcome President Isaac Herzog to London, open up new diplomatic opportunities. President to also meet with British Jewish community leaders during official visit, will urge a tougher line on Iran. President Isaac Herzog on Sunday flew to London for an official 3-day visit that will include meetings with Prince Charles, the heir to the British throne, and UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Herzog will also meet with Foreign Secretary Liz Truss, British parliamentarians and Jewish community leaders. During the trip, Herzog will urge the British to be more aggressive toward Iran, ahead of the resumption of talks on restoring the 2015 deal limiting Tehran's nuclear program in exchange for sanctions relief. The United Kingdom is a party to that accord. Israel cannot allow Iran to acquire nuclear weapons capability, and it expects its allies to be tough and assertive toward the Iranians, Herzog said in a statement before departing. Israel makes this position clear to all its friends and of course makes clear that it reserves all options to defend itself. He also hailed the British government's decision last week to designate Hamas in its entirety as a terror organization and outlaw support for it. "This is a supremely important step in the war on terror," the president said. After arriving in London, Herzog and his wife, Michal, will attend an event Sunday evening memorializing Jewish Olympians murdered by Nazi Germany. On Monday morning, he will meet with the Prince of Wales, before heading to Westminster Palace for talks with UK members of Parliament. He will then meet with Truss and later take part in a tribute to former British Chief Rabbi Jonathan Sacks, who died last year. The next day, Herzog will sit down with Jewish leaders and then go to 10 Downing Street, the British Premier's office and residence, to meet with Johnson. The President and his wife are set to return to Israel on Tuesday evening. Prime Minister Naftali Bennett met Johnson on the sidelines of the COP26 climate summit in Glasgow earlier this month. The two spoke at length about Iran's nuclear program, according to an Israeli official. Ahead of his visit, Herzog published a column in the British newspaper, The Sunday Telegraph, urging increased dialogue between Israel and the UK and calling for more aggressive action against the threat of Iran's nuclear weapons program. "Iran does not want dialogue," he wrote in the column. "It is exploiting the world's willingness to negotiate to buy time. Israel cannot allow the fundamentalists of Tehran to acquire a nuclear bomb. The moderate nations of the Middle East need their allies, including Britain, to engage them in an urgent dialogue on how to stop Iran instead of wasting time on its games," he said. Herzog pointed to the Abraham Accords and to the establishment of the current Israeli government, which ended a 2-year political crisis, as evidence of the importance of pragmatism and dialogue in solving political challenges. The recent Israeli government's formation, under which parties from opposite ends of the spectrum came together in a desire to return the country to normalcy, evidences the resilience of democracy in Israel, Herzog wrote. Herzog will also attend a special Genesis Prize Foundation event paying tribute to the late Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks 1 year after his death. After landing in the UK, Herzog was updated about the terror attack which took place Sunday in Jerusalem. The president took to Twitter to express condolences to the victim's family and said, "The fact that the attacker came from the political wing of Hamas compels the international community to recognize Hamas as a terror organization." Last week the UK officially designated Hamas as a terror organization.